Hey, good morning, my dear friends. I got a little weather window here. It's still sprinkling, but not too heavy. I can see some heavy rain surrounding me, so I don't know how long I'm going to last out here. It's great to be with you. There is some big news. Of course, dominating the news is the Coronado Island Yellowtail bite out of San Diego. Boats that were fishing there yesterday had some good scores. We'll cover that. The atmospheric river is pounding Central California. It is really nasty. A lot of flooding going on up there. More Corvina showing up right here in the surf. A sure sign that springtime is on the way, along with those yellowtail and a lot more. You know what time it is, everybody. It's time to get the heck out of here because it's going to rain. And it's also time for a cup of coffee and the morning briefing. Good morning, my friends. Oh my God, is that good? All right, let's get into it with you. I want to remind you all that I'll be at Bass Pro Shops tomorrow, and we'll be doing 6 podcasts as we move up on 2 million views and nearly 200,000 hours of content consumed by you. Thank you so very much. Some of that content is the Danny Cadota show, and Danny put on a show last night that was unbelievable. We looked at one another and said, 2 hours and 15 minutes we've been gabbing here, and so many people were begging us to keep going. Actually, Danny, because Danny is just such a lovely guy. He's got so many great memories he shares with you, and his expertise in fishing is second to none. It was great. So make sure you go back and watch that show when you have time. Again, back to Bass Pro. We'll be out there. Danny may join us. He's trying to rework his schedule. He's a busy guy, and also we'll have a little table set up there. Most important, besides listening to the podcast from 1 to 2:30, I want to say thank you for your support. That means so much to me. So hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. Now, one thing, we do have the rain, but what we don't have is too much wind. I do have some wind blowing up against my back, and that's why I'm kind of taking a different position here this morning. But for the most part, it's pretty nice. A little bit of wind starting to blow as we go along. All right, the Pegasus is running a trip out of Fisherman's Landing in San Diego. We love those guys on the Pegasus. It's such a great boat, and they do such a great job, and they're going offshore. Their first offshore trip of the year. Of course, their main target is going to be bluefin tuna, and we'll be watching that one very, very closely for you. St. Patrick's Day, easy way to remember it. They depart from Fisherman's Landing. That's a Friday night. You're going to want to jump on board that trip and say hi to the guys for me. All right, I'm going to jump right to the Coronado Islands and talk about that bite. You know, it was just a few days ago when the San Diego said that they saw good evidence of life at the Coronado Islands. And that's when I told you all, man, those guys on that boat know what they're looking about. You got to see them before you catch them. And then, bam, pretty darn good fishing yesterday. Really good fishing for the first yellowtail bite of 2023 in Southern California, northern Baja, actually. Really good fishing. The grade of fish was beautiful. We had some 10 to 12 pound stuff, but we had some fish pushing 30 pounds. Really beautiful grade of yellowtail yesterday. And some of the Friedman Adventures family members were on that trip. And by family members, I mean people who watch our podcast, support what we're doing, and I deeply appreciate that. Dave Clark, 3 yellowtail for Dave. He had a 12-pounder, a 17-pounder, and a 25-pound slug. Dave, way to put the wood to those fish. Nice going, my friend. Really appreciate you sharing the photos and the intel with me. Now, yo-yo iron was definitely the way to go. And another family member was on there, Ty Spangler. And Ty said, man, I'm going to tell you right now, when the captain says drop, you need to drop. When he's got him on the sonar and he says drop, you're going to drop a heavy jig down. Now, Ty said fishing 40 to 50 pound was the way to go with a 7X. That's what he was fishing. Man, you get a heavier jig and get down there in a hurry. And then Ty said, and what I love is turn the handle. Wind about as fast as you can. And when you load up, just keep turning the handle. You never set the hook by rearing back on the rod. You just turn that handle. Grind, grind, grind until that fish, if it does, pulls line against the drag. Sometimes you can just wind them right up, but you can't let them get their head. You've got to keep constant pressure on them. And that sounded like fun. San Diego yesterday, 33 nice yellowtail. Heck of a bite. They're out today. We'll see how they do, and we'll monitor that very closely for you. I'll have some shorts that I can put up to keep you in touch with all the very latest on that bite. The Liberty was also out, and they had a dozen yellowtail. Nice hit for them also. And these guys also have some rockfish and other nice table fare type fish to provide you with more excellent eating fish. So, man, you have your barbecued yellowtail and your fish tacos, and you're all set. And it's really good to see that kind of a bite going on in San Diego. Hopefully it'll continue. Now, the rain today, what would concern me is if there was going to be a lot of wind with it, and there is not. There is not going to be that much wind. That is good news. These fish will bite in the rain. I have no doubt that you're going to see some scores coming in here shortly, and we'll be reporting on that. It should bite again. And then normally you get what we call a clearing wind the next day. We're not going to get that. It seems like the weather's going to be good. And that also bodes well for a trip on the Pride tonight out of 22nd Street Landing in San Pedro. I talked to Sean Roberts last night and Michael Potvin, the guys that make the Pride efforts so possible, and they're really high on this. Now, we've had some white sea bass catches on private boaters. Bob Elliott with 5 big slugs, 50-pound sea bass about a week ago. Gorgeous fish. And, you know, Sean Roberts is tuned into that. And he's also tuned into the possibility of some yellowtail. You know, there's so much market squid up and down the Southern California coastal region on the beach. And I'm talking about like the Huntington Flats. I'm talking about Catalina, San Clemente, Santa Barbara, San Nicolas, all the Channel Islands. All that market squid that has moved in there presents a feast for so many predators. It's the food chain. The big ones will come to eat the little ones, and we've had squid all over here all winter long. So we'll see how that pays off. And the good part about it, I was talking to Sean about it, we're not going to see that wind on Saturday. So he'll get out, of course, tonight, and then he'll take a look and be reporting in, and I cannot wait to hear how they do. It should be really, really good. The Pelican Patrol is headed this way right now. You perhaps see them fly through the frame in a moment. That's always a good sign for surf fishermen. Maybe those grunion ran last night. Hey, by the way, if you saw any grunion last night, let me know. In fact, these pelicans are getting ready to hit the water almost. It looks like they were fluttering like they were going to slam down on the water. So maybe there's a little bait on the beach here this morning. That's always a very good sign. So we got a couple good things. We got to watch the Pride, and we've got that yellow bite going on in San Diego. Wanted to emphasize that for you all to start it off. It's Cabo San Lucas, a few striped marlin, a little bit of yellowfin tuna and dorado and roosterfish, stripers on the beach, roosterfish on the beach, along with some Sierra mackerel. We'll watch that for you. Cedros getting ready for the yellowtail bite. Some big halibut and sea bass down there, up there around San Quintin area. Some yo-yo iron yellows are biting there with good rockfish. Up there at Colonette, we'll get some boats down fishing it this weekend. They'll get the rockfish. That's a slam dunk, but maybe we're going to see a bluefin tuna or two. You never know as they run down there, and some yo-yo iron yellowtail and Ensenada, good rock fishing. Hopefully we'll see some nice yellowtail fishing there also very, very soon. So we kind of covered San Diego in terms of the Coronado Islands. And the islands are a stone's throw from San Diego. That's what makes it so darn nice. It's easy to get there fast, and the yo-yo iron is the way to go. Now you can catch them on the dropper loop also. My preferred method is going to be, of course, the yo-yo iron, but you can catch them also on bait with a dropper loop. You know, then you got to get a bait and you got to goof off with that. So we'll see how that goes. And there's another guy down here who's going to go surfing right now. So good to see some people in this weather window we've got. So once again, pretty good fishing down there. Hopefully that's going to continue here today. Now locally, we continue to see sand and calico bass, mostly sand bass and some big fat ones. They're fishing structure. So you're going to be fishing wrecks like a sunken ship or pinnacles, and those are all very dangerous neighborhoods. So you need some heavier line like 40-pound fluorocarbon. www.optionusa.com. Put in FA, Friedman Adventures, at checkout, and you'll get a love note from owner Greg Brown as well as a free gift. Fish that fluoro, gets bit better, and it also is abrasion resistant. It works very, very well. Fresh, dead, or live squid. Dolphin down in San Diego has been doing quite well. Other boats have been doing good all the way up to Marina Del Rey. We're not going to have any wind this weekend. It's going to be just perfect for all of you. So we've got that. And then you can fill in with some sheep's head, whitefish, and sculpin Rockfish is closed in Southern California until April 1st. That's moving up fast, so it won't be much longer until we're able to do that. A little more wind here and more pelicans flying around looking for bait. So again, it's getting a little more active here on the beach. Hopefully we're going to see more corvina. We've been seeing quite a few here. We've also caught a few yellowfin croaker now. Still some barb perch in the cooler water. They enjoy that cooler water, so that's something to keep in mind. The Bart Hall Show will be at the Long Beach Convention Center at the end of the month. I'll be there. You should be there. Bart's going to put on a great show. He's back in the game. So good to have him back doing his thing. So that's big news. Day at the Docks will be next weekend. Not this weekend, but the following weekend in San Diego. And don't forget, next weekend also on Saturday, the 540 Slingers Club is also going to be doing their thing. All right, my friends, it is always so great to spend time with you. The drops are getting a little bigger and they're starting to come down a little heavier right now. So it's probably a really good time for me to get the heck out of here, as I found this little window, and I'm so happy I was able to do that. So some nice fishing at the Coronado Islands. Hopefully that's going to continue today. We'll watch that very closely for you all, and of course we'll be monitoring the situation up and down the coast in Mexico and everywhere else. Bass Pro Shops tomorrow, don't miss it. I'll be all set up down there about 11 a.m. We're going to have some fun stuff before the podcast starts and some fun stuff after it. It's going to be a really great evening. Rancho Cucamonga tomorrow. We'll have a seat for you. You can sit down and enjoy all the experts I'll be interviewing because their knowledge is so great. All I do is ask the questions. They provide the entertainment and the knowledge. Don't miss the Danny Cadota Show. That was a great one. And once again, as I take another swig of this delicious coffee, the Patreon members, only $5 a month, you can help support all the content we are putting out. To you Patreon members, you are the heart and soul of Friedman Adventures. All you got to do is hold your camera from your phone up to that little icon you see up there right now, or what do you call it? I forget what you call it. Hold it up and you'll be taken right to our Patreon page. All right, my friends, have a great one. Feels like it's going to rain. Take care, and I hope to see you really soon.
Savings at Bass Pro Shops in Rancho Cucamonga for our biggest fishing sale of the year. The Spring Fishing Classic is March 9th through the 29th. There will be free seminars happening all event long. Friedman Adventures will be recording a podcast on March 11th from 1 to 2:30 with local pro staff being interviewed. Kids Weekend is March 18th and 19th with a catch and release pond and free photo download. Check the store page at BassPro.com for all the details. Catch big savings all over the store, like up to 55% off select Bass Pro Shops lures. And save $50 on a Bass Pro Shops Extreme XML Baitcast combo. Trade in your old rod and reel and save up to $100 on a new one. All trade-ins will be donated to local nonprofit organizations to help get more kids outside. Your adventure starts at the Spring Fishing Classic at Bass Pro Shops in Rancho Cucamonga. Don't forget to check out the MDC camper next to our Tracker Off-Road department for the ultimate outdoor adventure.